Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'll be showing you how to make this football graphic. As always, watch through the entire duration of the video and like, subscribe, comment, and tell me what you want to see next. Let's get into it. Today I'll be making a bind graphic for Lucas Hernandez. So what I'm going to do is start by dragging all of the renders in and just making my composition. Like so. Now that we've done half the composition, just going to play around with the image sizes that we've got here. Now that I've done that, I'm going to group these two layers together. The back images, just make sure my flow is on around 20%. Like so. Now my next step is to grab my pen tool, and what I'm going to do is pen tool out this much of the background and create a new layer. We're just going to start with red, but what we're going to do is get Allianz Arena from Germany. Like so. Now we've got a nice image. Drag and drop it in and put it on our layer mask. Just make it a slightly little bit bigger. What I'm going to do is just have some outer glow on the bottom, as you can see here, and add these camera raw filter in. It's just a similar graphic to what I made for Saka. I'm just remaking it. Add some outer glow, more outer glow. What I might do is just resize this backing image slightly. Move this over. Now I'm going to double click on Lucas Hernandez on the left side and just very much increase the exposure. And again, just redo the layer mask. Now that we've done that, I'm going to come down to the bottom, make sure our flow is on 100, and with floor shadow 2, and put it in the floor shadows, like so. Make a new layer above the bottom Lucas Hernandez, turn our flow down to around 20%, and draw in the shadows. And as you can see, it's a little bit not correct, so we can just easily fix that up, like so. Quick and easy to fix. All done. I'm going to get rid of the outer glow on this behind image. And same here, I'm just going to add in shadows manually. Our next step is to come into this layer. What we're actually going to do is delete the layer mask and just add in the layer masks ourselves, just because I realized I have to add in a rectangle behind some of these images. So we'll add the rectangle in now, like so. And again, we're just going to grab a different image of the Allianz Arena. Like so. And copy and make it a clip mask. Now what we're going to do is we're going to grab the same camera raw filter from the backing image. And I will go into the camera raw filter and show you what the camera raw filter is. So I've played around with the exposure, the contrast, the highlights, the shadow, the whites, the blacks, the texture, the clarity, bit of the curve. As you can see, it's an S curve, and the color gradings, just played around. I might play around with it again, just to get some reds back into it. Our next step is I'm going to move this image over slightly, like so. And as you can see, a bit of Hernandez at the bottom showing, so I'm going to fix that up. Now what I'm going to do is, with this same backing image, just going to add some shadow behind, just because we want a clear difference between where the players are on the graphic. As you can see, I've increased the exposure, the texture, and the clarity, and just played around with the greens just to get them off the kit. And I'm also going to decrease the oranges slightly. Now for my next part of my camera raw filter, I've increased the sharpening up to around 150, but I'm just going to knock that down to around 85. I've increased the whites, the blacks, and the texture and stuff. Again, it's just similar stuff. And now I'm going to, again, just decrease the sharpening slightly. And because that camera raw filter is perfect, we're just going to duplicate it and add it onto the other layers. Like so. But for the second smaller Hernandez image, I'm just going to come in and fix this up myself. Not the kit. We want this. And increase the exposure, like so. Our next step with our Monument Extended font selected, we're going to change this to Ultra Bold. Our next step with our Monument Extended font selected, we're going to change this to Ultra Bold. Type in Lucas. Make this smaller. I'm going to put it on the left hand side, and again we're just going to very quickly fix up the mask for the left side image and type in Hernandez. And just decrease the size of the text so it looks like this. Might just increase it a little bit on that side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate that. And what we're going to do is type in Bayern. Bayern, hyphen Bayern, hyphen Bayern, and just repeat that. Like so. Just so you've got that nice text going along the entire backing of the graphic. And we'll drag that and put it at the very bottom. Next step is to not duplicate that, come back to the text and type in Bayern again. Now what we're going to do is we're going to change this to 90 degrees clockwise. Move this image over slightly, like so. Make this a little smaller. Come to our rectangle, draw in a smaller rectangle. Hold the two together and make sure they're middled. And again, do the same thing, so duplicate the rectangle. Drag it down. And make sure it's in line with the other one. Like so. That looks all good for me. Now what I'm going to do is group them together and make it slightly bigger. Like so. My next step will be showing you what I've just done with the all this adjustment layers and stuff. If you watched my Sakura tutorial, you would have seen this before. It's just talking you guys through how it was made, just so we can get a bit of an understanding to what's actually been done. So what I've done is I've added in a color lookup layer, which is just make it pop, just from Ethan J Design, an S-curve, some selective color to get this reds back in, just because we want that deep and dark red, black and white, which will be on the eyes, as you can see here. Actually just got to fix that up myself, like so. Just a little bit of pop, hue and saturation just to clear some of the greens, levels just to balance out the colors, brightness and contrast to add a little bit more colors in, and then 3 strip just to add a bit more red in as well. And finally, what we're going to do is with our hue and saturation and levels, we're going to copy that and put it to the top. Press Ctrl, Shift, and Alt and E. And I'll walk through our camera raw filter. So we've increased the exposure slightly, the contrast a little bit, shadows down, decreased the saturation, and added a bit of noise reduction. Maybe just a little bit less, tiny little bit of grain, and a bit of vignetting. And then over the top of that go our textures. And there we go. That's how we make this Lucas Hernandez graphic. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe, comment what you want to see next. See ya.